Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over mental health tips, different ways to improve your mental health. This month is a month of May and we're going to be talking about mental health awareness. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm going to go over about 20 tips on ways to improve your mental health. So the first one is to keep a gratitude journal or just write out a journal of thoughts and feelings throughout the day. A gratitude journal is one that I really like to do because it helps us see things through a different lens. It even changes our brain. It takes us from a positive to a negative. And I'm not talking about toxic positivity. But one journal that I really like that I suggest a lot, I know I've suggested it in my videos before, is the 5-minute journal. You know, what are 3 things that you're grateful for, 3 things that are going to make the day great. And you can get it on your phone or you can actually order a book. So that's tip 1. The second tip, the second and third one really kind of go hand in hand, but I am going to separate them. The second one is exercise. What we know about our physical health also helps our mental health. Any way we can move our body, whether it's we're going to a gym, we're joining an exercise group, we're going for daily walks, anyway, we're going to a dance class, any way we can move our body is a way that we are, we're feeling better, we're improving our mood, we're taking care of our mental health. The third one is our diet. What are we eating? There is a doctor who I've talked about before, Dr. Uma Nadu, who's a nutritional psychiatrist, and she talks a lot about our gut-brain connection and how what we eat either hurts our mental health or it can help our mental health. So there are certain foods that do help us with anxiety or depression, when we're feeling low and fatigue, omega-3s. She suggests, salmon, wild-caught salmon, chia seeds, walnuts, dark leafy greens, citrus vegetables, or citrus fruit. Those are some of the things that are in her book. Again, I highly recommend This Is Your Brain on Food. But what studies have shown that, certain foods that do help with anxiety and depression. And the foods that actually hurt are processed foods, fast foods, greasy foods, so we want to try to avoid those. Drinking lots of water. We want to make sure that we're getting in our daily amount of water. When we're dehydrated, dehydration doesn't help us on a lot of different realms, but when we're really dehydrated, it can also mimic symptoms of anxiety. So we want to make sure that we're keeping track of our water. Tip 5 is sleep. Now, I know even I have a hard time with this one sometimes. When we can get a healthy amount of sleep, so if you're having a hard time going to sleep or if you have these ruminating thoughts, what are some things that you can start doing that are going to help rest your body, which also helps rest your mind? There has been lots of studies that show that when we don't get the right amount of sleep, it does increase symptoms of anxiety and depression. It hurts us, so create a sleep routine. What are some things that you can start doing even now to kind of start putting your mind and your body into that mode of it's time to rest? Turning off electronics, getting the blue light glasses, making a tea at nighttime, as opposed to alcohol. Just like the step prior, drinking lots of water, we also don't want to drink a lot of alcohol. We don't drink alcohol because alcohol increases symptoms of depression. Also, alcohol does not help you sleep. That's actually a myth. So sleep routine, drinking some tea at nighttime, sleepy time tea, drawing a bath, dimming the lights in your house, playing soothing music, those sort of things. Start creating a routine and start doing it every night as a way to help put your body in a more restful state and see how it helps you. Getting the right amount of sleep is also another thing that can help improve your mental health. Tip number 6 is explore and try new things. This is one of my favorite, well, I actually like all of these tips, but exploration brings us to life. Things that we can explore also helps us feel better. Trying new things is a form of exploration, right? Cooking a new meal, driving a new route to work, going to instead of just cooking at home, something new, going to a new restaurant, trying something that you've never done before. All of those things help bring a sense of aliveness and excitement that also help with your mental health. Gets you unstuck, instead of staying stuck. So that kind of goes into number 7, which is connect with friends and family. Esther Perel says our social connections are attached to our mental health. So when we can reach out and connect to others, we actually feel better. And that's like with exploration. When we're trying new things and maybe we're doing it with a friend, we're connecting to others, and that does help us thrive. So what are some things that you can do even starting today to help connecting with others? Call a friend, go to a coffee shop and say hi to someone maybe that you've never met before. Those things help you feel better. Do something kind for someone else, or something loving for someone that you love and care about. When you kind of step outside of yourself and you do something nice for somebody else, it does help you feel better. And when you get to see someone smile as a result of maybe bringing them flowers or holding the door open for a stranger, you know that you are helping someone else, and again, it helps you feel better. And remember, kindness is contagious, so continue to be kind. Color. Now, what does this mean? Several years ago, they started to come out with adult coloring books, and they've done a lot of research on how that actually helps people feel better. It's a healthy distraction. It eases the mind, and it can help with some symptoms of anxiety. So go out and grab a coloring book. I highly recommend it. Create is the next tip. Anytime we can create or get creative or step into our creativity, we also bring a sense of aliveness, and we start to feel better. Creation, to create something helps bring us back to life. And again, guys, with all these tips, they don't have to be these big things that you have to do all the time. They can be small things often. Small ways to create kind of also goes into trying something new or exploration. So, remember, when we can create, it helps bring us back to life. Laugh and smile. The old saying, laughter is the best medicine, and that is very true. And I think I've said in other videos before, a fake smile registers as a real smile in our brain. It helps us feel better. Laugh often. Disconnect from technology. Anytime we can kind of disconnect from technology, we feel better, and we get ourselves out of the comparison trap, which I've talked about in my other videos. So find time to limit and disconnect from technology. Step number 13, connect in nature. Get out in nature. Go for a walk. So some of these are starting to blend, right? There's the studies that show vitamin D, the sunshine, is really good for our mental health and also for our physical health. There's studies that talk about when we see the color green out in nature, how that helps us feel better. There's studies that talk about when we take our shoes off and put our bare feet on the grass, how that sends good energy throughout our body. So get out in nature, explore, and see how it impacts your mental health in positive ways. 14, be playful. Again, kind of going back to laughing often, be playful, and dance around the house when you're doing chores. Do things that kind of create movement, but also help you laugh and smile. If you have pets, go out and play with them. Hug them, pet them, engage with your pets. Pets give us unconditional love, so they also help improve our mental health. Focus on the present moment instead of holding on to an outcome of something that's in the future or holding on to something in the past that we cannot change. Focus on being present and focus on what's in your control. The other part, which is 17, tip 17, but it's kind of connected to the one I just mentioned, is focus on what you're doing or what you're able to do instead of what you can't do or what you didn't do. One thing that depression likes to do is it likes to tell us all the things that we're not doing. And so at the end of every night, I typically have people, kind of keep track of what they're able to do. Even if it's, I was able to get out of bed, brush my teeth, drink some water, and go from the bed to the couch. It's still focusing on things that you're able to do. Step 18 or tip 18 is accomplish a task. That could be washing dishes. That could be paying a bill. That could be building a deck outside. I mean, it doesn't have to be that big, but focus on accomplishing a task and acknowledging that you were able to accomplish it, or that you started the process. That is also something, again, kind of what am I able to do? Tip 19 is read a book for pleasure or a self-help book. Books take us away into our own imagination, or self-help book also kind of gives you some tips on how to care for yourself, or how to work through something that you've had a difficult time working through. So read a book. And number 20 is the power of deep belly breathing, box breathing, the power of the breath. And along with breathing, meditation and or prayer. So those are 20 tips on how to care for your mental health. Comment and let me know what is a tip that you do that helps you with your own mental health. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for weekly updates all about relationships. And I do hope you take this month to care for your mental health. Have a great one.